Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shedding crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue, through the silence and the roar. Still blue, even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shed and crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every
Yes, good people, big up to all of you. Welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome back for another edition of Chelsea's live match reaction. The ended Qarabag 2, Chelsea 2. And it's a game you could argue. A lot of people thought we were going to mop the stadium carpet with them. And yeah, I said we shouldn't be thinking like that. Football is played over 90 minutes plus added time. Numbers will tell you one thing, but you just cannot script this game. And I think it's the second time I warned people about that. We could have won, we could have lost, could have gone either way. Actually, they did well enough. They pressured us very well. They knew our weaknesses, like one of their defenders said, and they exploited it to a certain extent. But we made silly mistakes defensively that led to us conceding the two goals we conceded against them. And Kirsten, Rich Money Makers, nice to see you. Interesting to see your comment. You're seriously fuming, but I think your comment is very premature. Your comment about Hato is premature. He's a very, very good player, intelligent, has leadership qualities even at 19. And I'm not saying you should measure his footballing ability with the fact that he captained Ajax before we signed him. No, there's a good footballer in there. And you're just doing the same thing Chelsea fans did when Kukurea, when at the time he did find it a bit difficult to settle down as a Chelsea player. And I don't think that's fair, that every time we sign a player, if they don't hit the ground running, we define the rest of their, you could say, the rest of their career with one performance. Has he been poor in all the games he's been played? No. He's played a few games for us, and in those games, he's not been that bad. It is that, yeah, he happened to make two mistakes, or maybe a few today, and had a bad. That is, its numbers don't look good. That doesn't mean he's a bad player. It's a day that even Rhys James was poor. A lot of our players, except for Estevao, he was the only player that stood out. So I don't think it's fair that whenever we lose again, when emotions are still running high, everybody would just find one player to blame. I don't blame the manager either. He had to rotate, and he did say it. Because look at it. Romeo Lavia played how many minutes? 10 seconds on the pitch and got injured again. So I don't think it's fair that you're saying Hato isn't good enough. And you're practically saying he is. And if you, but going by what you said there so far, first, you complained about the club not signing an experienced centre back for the manager. And then Hato that we signed as the lead back, I get it. The 24-25 season, he played as a centre back, and how many times has he played as a centre back for us? So I don't think it's fair. If you want to support the player, support the player. Don't think a point whenever we played badly or whenever results don't go our way. I don't think it's okay, but that's a small opinion anyway. Let's see. He says here, I know for the fact that our coach wanted an. Yeah, that's exactly. I've talked about that. So if you're saying that the reason that we drew that game was because we didn't have an experienced center back, why are you? Why did you jump to the conclusion that Hato isn't good enough? He's not perfect. Even the best sometimes do have bad games. And in his case is not in isolation. Go look at the performances, look at the numbers of all the players that played today. So, but you have every right. You're entitled to your opinion. If you like, you say that he was the reason why we lost. We have passed that stage. Why are we even complaining? How many games have we lost and how many times? In the, for how long? Yeah, and the premature you picked up upon, where have you been? You just popped up today to come challenge me. You're acting like one of those my friends, some of those my friends on the X that I don't hear from them until we lose a game. But we didn't lose one actually. We're still gonna make it out of the group stage. And it's not the end of the world that we drew against them. We could have lost that game, actually. Yeah, we're talking about Qarabag that beat Benfica in Portugal by 3 goals to 2. So I don't know why us we feel like when, yeah, I get it. And I was when we were during the match preview show, that Vince asked people what they thought about the lineup, and I asked the viewers, let's just go look at what what Chelsea fans are saying. Somehow was saying we're going to beat them 7-0, and I told them you're not paying attention. They are a very good side, and thank goodness some of us aren't playing for Chelsea, because we have what I'd say is a dangerous mindset. You not respecting your opponent. And chances that that's exactly what happened. Just like the manager said, we weren't that serious. We didn't take them seriously, and we had a few. There are something that I wouldn't. I just don't want to start talking about them because it's something that's very common with an inexperienced. When you have you can say players that aren't as experienced as our current players. So yeah, it's not the end of the world. We're still go look at the table still, but we need to at least draw against Barcelona, beat what's the other team? I think we'll make it out of the group. If you want to bet, hit me up privately. Let's do it. So it's not the end of the world. The manager had to rotate. He had the big guns on the bench, brought them up, but by the time they came on, we were down. So I just one thing I don't understand. Here's the thing. I don't have anything against you. I just don't like how Rich Money Makers is saying he's just concluded that Hato isn't good enough. Isn't good enough in what sense? Was he the sole reason why we lost the game? No. The entire team, we weren't just good enough to win on the day. And chances are, if we look at numbers, we will do in a minute, would learn that actually we were lucky to have come out of that game with a draw. Yeah, it's okay to criticize players. No, not saying no good enough. Not saying that the player isn't good enough. That's not good criticism of the player. You just conclude. But come on, man. It's okay to criticize players. You don't need to argue. We're not arguing. We're having a conversation, and I think he too knows. He's expressed his opinion, and I'm expressing my own opinion. I don't think it's correct to just conclude that Hato isn't good enough because we drew, and because yeah, he made a mistake. He was you could say dribbled like a peg, like he was pegged to the ground, and the second one a handball, and the proximity you could argue showed probably there was nothing he could have done. I get it, the golden rule of you can say keeping your arms in a natural position when you're defending that kind of, but he's still 19. So I don't think it's okay for us to start slating him. You should see what people are saying online. For a 19-year-old, he's an excellent player, and I will defend him till tomorrow. When I see a bad player, I know, and I do usually tell people I don't like this player for this reason. In this case, he's an excellent player, still very young. He will learn from it, and I'm just happy Maresca did not sub him off when he looked like he was sulking. He stayed on, and I think improved, finished the game better. He had the better second half, in my opinion, irrespective of what the numbers say. Had Maresca subbed him off, I think that'd be it for the rest of the season. His confidence would take a serious hit, and probably not going to be ready to deputize for Kukurea if he gets injured or if the manager wants to rest him. So he did the right thing by letting him finish the game. I think next game, when he gets a chance to play, he'll have a better game. So I'm not arguing with Rich Money Makers. He's presented his opinion, and I presented my counter opinion. He knows me. He says, "Coach, I respect you, but had to must not play CB." Maybe that's the most accurate argument. Specifically saying he must not play CB because we had other options. I would have rather Josh Archibong. Again, I would have rather he got the nod than Hato in that central area. But we don't know what happened. He didn't play the last game, did he? Why he didn't come on, I don't know. And the people that were arguing why we're questioning the manager's selection, why we had Tyreek Judge on the pitch when we had what's his name? Liam Delap on the bench and Mark Gui. Okay, Delap came on, and he came on at a time you can't argue that the opposition, you can say, not as energetic as they were or as they were in the start during the first half. But what did he do? So the manager, he sees these players day in, day out on the training pitch. He knows who's ready. And remember during his presser yesterday, he did say something to the effect of left it at the lab available for selection or something to that effect. He didn't say he was fully ready. I don't know. But my understanding of his comment was that the lab wasn't 100%. So I'm not saying we're not fighting. I know you know. I know that's how we operate here. Your opinion matters. Mine matters. I just didn't like that you said he's not good enough, and I said I think that's wrong. I think he's good enough, and it's not okay that we judge the entire. You can say some people actually say that player that's it. He's not yada yada yada. I don't want to get into that. And Hato is not good enough. Okay, that's you. That if you want, if that's what you believe, run with it. I don't want to. We're not doing that today, you and I. Leave me the heck alone. Yes, we didn't lose this 7 points. Will be enough for the playoffs. 13 points. I think we will make it through the group stage, and these things happen. Maresca, for me, he's been fantastic, irrespective of what anybody says. He's been fantastic. He's not perfect. He's made a couple of mistakes. But the good thing I like about him, whenever he makes mistakes, you see him during the post game or maybe the next presser, he let the world know, yeah, I made a mistake and I've learned from it. But now he had to rotate. God forbid Casado gets injured, we're doomed. We are doomed. So he just had to, even in the center back areas, he had to, because he probably felt like those guys would do enough to get us a win, and then it turns out it was a mistake. All right. He said, "What?" Vince, leave me alone. I'm not fighting with Rich Money Maker, and he knows that's how we operate here. Just leave me alone. Go back. We cannot question Maresca. No, you can question him. He's not perfect. He's made a couple of mistakes, and I do have questions myself, but I think he's I stopped asking those questions the moment he admitted, yeah, he did make a mistakes in those instances that annoyed me. Even last season, I talked about how he could have had the opportunity to create a healthy relationship between João Felix and Cole Palmer. That had he done that when Cole Palmer was out for a while, would still have a João Felix, and I think he's capable of fulfilling the Cole Palmer role. He has that in him. But João Felix himself wasn't patient, and if I were João Felix, I'd do the same thing. For the manager to have said openly that I'm not playing because of a certain player's availability, that was wrong too. So, but that's by the way. Good morning to you too. Nice to see you, bro. I do hope you're doing well. Rotation FC, we have to, because yeah, the schedule is congested. It's coming. The games are coming in thick and fast. But here's the thing: when we did the previous show, I did mention that since our last game against before the international break will be against Wolves, that I wouldn't mind Enzo Fernandez starting to have enough old heads there. Because you can argue Enzo Fernandez, say what you like about him, whether you think he doesn't do enough, contribute enough defensively, he's capable of dictating the pace of the game. He does it very well. And in his absence, we're usually not able to control games. And especially when we play against a very direct side like Qarabag. So and people should stop that mindset of assuming, yeah, we've already beaten a team. Just go. You can say, put yourself in the shoes of, they say maybe that will help you learn, or maybe to get a good understanding of what I'm trying to say. You don't write off your opponent in football. You just don't. I knew it was going to be difficult, even though I believed we will come out with the win. I looked at the numbers. They averaged, I think, 1 point something goals per game, and we averaged 2 point something per game. But the truth remains that's within the margin of error, which tells you, yeah, that even at that, the game could still end in a draw. And I want people, some are saying 7-0 actually. Football doesn't work like that. Rich Moneymaker says, I like our coach, but as this will blame him, trust me, we must not lose to Wolves. They still haven't got a coach, or there will be a meltdown with the fans. Hard to stay as a left back. I think we'll. Here's the thing. I just don't. I hate saying we're definitely beating the Southern team. I think we'll see um, a better game than we did the last time we faced them in a cup game. Because yeah, it was that game would be just before the international break. I think we will play better on the day. Let's see what happens. Mm, Listen, I don't know. I can't say this enough. In football, 2 plus 2 don't always equal 4. Yeah. The same Enzo with inconsistent passes. Yeah, here's the thing: you make do with what you have, even if you think that's the case. We don't have no. You can say we don't have. He's unique. His profile is unique. As good as I think Andres Santos is, he's just not Enzo Fernandez. Yeah, as good as I think what's it, Romeo Lavia is, he's just not Moises Caicedo. They're different. Andres Santos is more of a hybrid of 8 and 6. Enzo Fernandez traditionally a deep lying playmaker. He can help you dictate the pace of games and also has excellent passing range in him. But Maresca is transforming him. You can say transforming his profile. He crashes the box these days, gets more goals, but doesn't get too many assists. And for Romulo Lavia, he's unique. He's again the most capable in terms of beating the press. Caicedo, in terms of shielding our defensive line, he's unique. Nobody comes close to him. We can actually have 3 of them on the pitch at the same time. And I think we've seen that before. So, but here's the thing: irrespective of what you think of him, he's not a bad player, and you know it. I know you understand football well enough to know that that's the case. I just have no minutes in 2 games, so who knows whether he's fully fit? You know, Maresca loves him. You know, he's played him in high-profile games, which show even when we had more experienced players on the bench, he's given them opportunities to play in high-profile games. So that shows me that again, him not playing means something isn't right. Is I think probably has to do with his fitness. Just that has actually happened before when people were complaining on X, calling the manager names for not playing him. It turns out the kid wasn't fully fit. He was ill and was out for a few days. So we just don't know. I just let him do his job. For today, I don't want to blame him. I knew it was going to be a tough game, but I thought we were going to win. I didn't know it was going to end in a draw, and we actually started very well. Yeah, we weren't able to control the game after scoring first. Big up to you too, Rich Moneymaker. Don't call him a legend. His head will explode. Stop calling VK a headache. Okay, they are fed up of Romeo Lavia. It sucks. I think it was my bro on ex Rodrigo that called him a part-time player. Unfortunately, he is. And here's the only thing that gives me hope to a certain measure is that he's still very young. Usually, young players, I think from experience, I can name a few who at some point I was concerned, or the club was concerned, and how often, with regards to how often they get injured, and then at certain point in their career, you could say they outgrew the injuries that plagued them and hardly ever got injured. You could say Ian Robin, for instance, Christian Pulisic these days stays fit. Some will say it's because he's playing in a less physical league. Romeo Lavia, it's just, I think I've heard someone say it was what's that team he played for that got relegated? Uh, Southampton. They overplayed him at the time as was it 18 years old or so? So I don't know. I think probably the club will be fed up of him. So I agree. They are fed up of Romeo Lavia's injuries, and according to my sources, we are looking at another midfielder. Should we be looking? at another fielder. Romeo Lavia, I don't know how he compares to that kid. Is he on loan at Strasbourg? Not Isugo. What's his name? Asogu. Asogu or something. I think they're similar in terms of profile. But definitely, I think yeah, it makes sense that if we sell him or if he leaves, that we'll look to sign another player. But unfortunately, as much as I like him, yeah, even I've heard people singing praises. Even my bro Vince calls him the catalyst. Yeah, but listen, whenever he's on the pitch, if Caicedo isn't on the pitch, he sometimes casually, nonchalantly makes, you can say, loses the ball in dangerous areas. Yeah. You can argue that it's down to how the manager wants him to apply himself in his approach. I don't know. I'm concerned that chances are, yeah, if we get an opportunity, we'd sell him. But maybe we're willing to be patient with him, you know, to see if it outgrows it. Maybe I think he had already gone under the knife, hasn't he? I don't know. Wendy, nice to see you. Thank you for reposting the stream. I appreciate you. We have a total of 47 people following the show, but only 5 of those on YouTube, which means 42 of you. Uh, Again, shared between X and Facebook. If you're following the show on X or maybe Facebook, please take a second, drop a like on the video, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Big up to you, Wendy, my sister. God bless you. Let's see. What else do we have here? He asked the question: did you watch that podcast on ex goalkeeper saying that Poch trained our players to injuries? Interesting. I think at the time I was I was one of those that blamed his approach because yeah, we did address some reports of players complaining how much running they had to do under Pochettino. I think it was Levi Colwell or maybe uh, either Levi Colwell or maybe Moises Caicedo that said something to the effect of that they work a lot more with the ball under under Maresca, but under Pochettino it was always run, 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 run. I think he was yeah, he was definitely I think it was Moses Caicedo. But here's the thing, I think it comes down to the number of games that the players play, and it's not just Chelsea. At some point it was Arsenal, it was Liverpool, Manchester United, PSG, Barcelona, just a lot of games. Look at the club games plus the international games, just a lot of games. These guys, they're humans, honestly. But I mean, at the time, I was one of those that, yeah, argued that chances are the manager, so you could say, approach. Probably one of the reasons why we had a lot of players out injured because yeah, under him we had a lot more players out. Under Enzo Maresca, not just him. I don't want to give him all the credit because yeah, it was a problem, a huge problem for the club. Maybe which led to Maresca managing players. And so if they sense you're not fully fit, you sit out the next game because they don't want for the sake of gaining for the sake of a short-term gain, risk a long-term issues. I don't want to give him all the credit once again, but I think the club we've actually managed to find a way to keep our players fit. But dang it, Romeo Lavia and Abanwa Badiashile, their cases are I don't know what to say about it, really. But let's see. Isugo, is this Isugo? No, 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 not Isugo. Asugo. That's Asougo. I think no, Isugo is similar to um Caicedo, but I'm talking about what's his first name? He's on loan at Strasbourg. Was it a loan or did we sell him? I think a loan. They're happy with Andrea Sanchez. He's good. He's a good player. But he still needs to adapt to the Premier League. Yeah, not just the Premier League. We have a very what's the language I'm looking for? idealistic manager, attention to detail. If you have to, again, newcomers usually do need a lot time, do need time to adapt properly. Newcomers do need to adapt. Again, do need time to adapt well to the with way the manager likes to approach the game, because yeah, he's very idealistic. Attention, every minute detail matters in his approach. So I think Andrea Santos will be all right, but as much as I like him, even saying he's more, yeah, I think it's correct to say he's more of a hybrid of 8 and 6. He's the perfect profile for what you could argue what Maresca is trying to turn Enzo Fernandez into. Yeah. So that's the sort of player he is. He's not excellent at shielding that the defensive line. So the person that I believe are closest to Caicedo in terms of shielding the defensive line is Sugo. All right, let's see what else do we have here. Josh is building up his fitness, so that's why he isn't playing. I I honestly do not buy that argument. I think probably you see that he's not fully fit or so. Even as you could say, as lanky as he is, and as young as he is, he was able to effectively deal with it was the day we played against Crystal Palace. He was able to effectively deal with was it Mateta? Yeah, who tried to bully him and it didn't work. They're very happy with Ganacho. Listen, I didn't I stupidly but I've always known Ganacho. I've always known that he's a good player. But I stupidly signed up or maybe joined the campaign of No to Ganacho, even created some graphics until I took a step back and looked at it and I was like, what am I doing here? And I've always told Bobby Ganacho is a good player and will come good for us. As young as he is, he's one of our most experienced players. And he's a fighter. Yeah, Gittins might need more time than Ganacho. They're not the same. They're not the same. They differ a bit. Even though they play at the same position, but they differ a bit. Gittins will come good. He's an excellent player too. Yeah. So why wouldn't they be happy with him? They knew he can be as good as he is, as he's proven to be, even before they went for him. They didn't go for him because the price was right. They went for him because he's a good player and because the manager okayed the club's pursuit of Alejandro Garnacho. So Amogu is not loan, so he was sold. So he's never coming back. So if Lavia leaves, we're definitely going to sign another player, except if maybe, what's that kid from the academy that Maresca played? Was it against Ajax? He talks about him all the time. Ah, what's the name of that kid from the academy? He played a few minutes that I said reminds me of what's it, the Scottish that played the he was at Chelsea, but he now plays for under Antonio Conte. When I saw that kid, I said he reminds me of him. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, he looks like you can say he's able to beat the press, comfortable on the ball. So, but he looks like somebody that's you could say that you could say slotting seamlessly into that Lavia role. Yeah, I do love that kid. Yeah, Reggie. Yeah. All right, let's look at what the numbers tell us, and I want to hear more of your observations. Hopefully, I don't agree. I like to disagree with you guys. I don't like having conversation with people that I agree on everything they say, and we just be going, yeah, that's true, as if we're not, as if we're in a parliament. Here's the truth remains: if we all agree, then something is not right. And if you only hang out with people you agree with, you're never gonna learn anything. The only thing you have to do is just keep an open mind, be open to learning from people when you're wrong and they're correct. All right. Uh, some post-game comments by the manager or from the manager. This reads Enzo Maresca on rotation. The intention tonight was to rest Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo, Malo Gusto to rest more players because they are not able to play every 3 days. I think they can, but it carries a huge risk. And the fact that you can say our 24-25 season wasn't normal. It was extended beyond the usual length given the Club World Cup, and we did well enough to play in the final. One it was good, but again, at the time, we knew it was going to be problematic for us. But I think we're gradually, you could say, um, getting over the hangover, for lack of a more specific language there. So he went on to say, let's see what he says. They need a recovery from last season. The Club World Cup affects a lot. I know a lot of people will say BS, but I don't think it is. This is a fact. But yeah, the Club World Cup affects a lot in terms of rotation. He's not, again, and if we had them on the pitch, chances that they do a lot better than those that started the game. We try to rotate when you win. No one mentioned, yeah, exactly. No one mentioned all that. I know that when we don't win, everyone is focused on that. And I'm going to go back to saying again, Maresca has been fantastic since joining Chelsea. And in terms of his win percentage rate, I think the only person that has a better win rate than him, I think, is it Thomas Tuchel or Mourinho? But I'll look at it again. I wanted to make a produce a YouTube short video with that, but I forgot to do that. So yeah, I mean, that's football for you. I like him, but the truth remains, the average football fan understands three things: win, lose, draw. Yep. And the truth remains, after a win, irrespective of how close the game was, most fans wouldn't even talk about, you can say, their team's deficiencies, even if it was an own goal that helped, you can say, the team they support win. Most fans will not even will not complain and will just enjoy the win. But the moment you lose, irrespective of how well you play, and by the way, I'm not saying we played well today. We play, chances are, if we look at the numbers, we'd learn that yeah, Qarabag deserved actually to win the game. But that's why where we get to that in a bit. So my point is, the average football fan understands three things: win, lose, draw, and they judge the manager and the players based on the outcome of a game. Some fans don't look beyond results to see, yeah, we were unlucky today. We had plenty of chances, hit the woodwork 900 times. And the other one, the referee just incorrectly ruled out a goal. No, the average football fan doesn't operate like that. It's either you win, or if you draw or lose, you judge based on that, unfortunately. You can argue, even there are, I think it's actually worse with adults, because more than you, here's the thing, I don't, I look beyond what I get from big accounts on X that are run by some 20, 21 year olds who just want clicks and will say anything to bait fans, and they respond in kind. So even you could argue that, you say, I don't know, maybe I need to take a step back and look at it again. Chances are you're very correct. Most fans are young fans, but younger fans tend to look beyond results. But sometimes when emotions are still running high, they speak BS. I know some that I'm actually friends with on X. Again, when the emotions are still running high after a loss, they say a lot of nonsense. But the moment things die down, you start seeing them make sense. You get that? So I don't think it'd be correct to say Yeah, the young fans behave that way. There are older fans that are actually once worse than the young young ones. But that's a small opinion anyway. That's nothing scientific about that. Nothing scientific about that. I've been doing the research. That's just me going up by my again. That was driven by my observations, as you could say, as an OG fan, maybe. Do you mean plastic fans? No. Uh, that's actually a term you could argue. For me, it's meaningless to me because yeah, some will call you plastic fan because you speak objectively. Some will call you a plastic fan because you're not screaming standard, 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 where's our standard? Or because you're not screaming Bali out or Bali out, or because you're not screaming Enzo Maresca out. I have listen, yeah, so maybe it's just as you could say when I hear manager's name out these days, if I hear that from a Chelsea fan, it simply means we lost again. And there's also an issue of mob mentality. Yeah. Um. So, but yeah. Rich Moneymaker says this team has to change their mentality. We want our players to perform against the weaker teams. If they don't, a lot of pundits will say we lack experience. Sunderland brought in 30 players. Look at the difference. Houston, let's say this. You were getting what is common with young players. Lack of consistency. I've always known that that be the case. We're actually lucky how far we've come in terms of how quickly the players are maturing. There are a lot of things that weren't possible. What we weren't able to do under Pochettino. You could argue under Pochettino, the moment we concede, that's it. But the moment we go behind, that's it. We're definitely losing that game. And under Pochettino, we had issues. There were lots of games where we were winning until just a few ticks away to the end of the game. We ended up drawing the game, or there were games we lost that would just again we had just a few ticks away to the end of the game. We ended up losing them. I think we've matured beyond you can say that level where those things we don't see where if we concede first or maybe if we go behind we'd end up losing the game. I think that has changed. But one thing that remains is a huge issue for me, which you could not necessarily interpret as charity FC, but because that's partly part of what defines charity FC. Going into the game with mindset you've already won this game, uh, based on the current form of the opposition. Here's the thing. What I'm trying to say is this. It may well be that may well be you could say one of the biggest problems that we have to solve right now. And there's a lot more to it. It's not just that straightforward. It's not really because yes, the so-called weaker teams play in a manner that we usually find it difficult to deal with the low blocks and on and on and on. But yeah, I think that comes with the territory of having a very young squad, not playing, you can say, going into a game with the mindset that we've already won this. Just as we did see from some of our fans in the morning saying how you can say discussing how we were going to mop the stadium carpet with the Qarabag players. One particular user, my friend, actually said he was going to end at 7-0 and all that. I think, yeah. Would it be correct to say it's a mentality thing? I think you're correct. I think you're correct. Yeah. So maybe what happened today needed to happen so that we can learn from it. I don't know, but that wasn't the first time either. So but as much as I'd say I'm thankful I'm thankful given how far we've come and the fact that the truth remains that we're actually ahead of time given that yeah we did not take corrective measures in terms of making some certain signings that can guarantee we start winning now. I don't think that we can still win now. Maybe doing better than we're doing right now. Um, I don't know. Yeah, I think it'd be correct to say it's a mentality thing to to struggle against weaker teams because it just comes across as if we don't take them seriously. We go into the games with the mindset that we've already won the games and all that. But 5 likes on YouTube. We can do a lot better than that. 60 people following the show, but only 5 of you on YouTube. But I know we can do a lot better than that. Coach will never call anyone plastic. I don't do that. And thank you for, even though you're not my friend, but thank you for recognizing that. He says Sunderland wasn't enough. You need Qarabag. Yeah, that's why I say. But you heard me say that wasn't the first time. But overall, the point I was trying to make that comes with the territory of having a squad that is like as young as us, especially when you make a lot of changes. You, I mean, you're bound to experience such, you could say, um mm, what's the language I'm looking for? Explosion? No, implosion. Yeah. All right, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. We're gonna go look at the numbers in a bit. We need to sign a player. I think you're doing what I'm quite sure you're doing, but let me read through that particular comment and I'll come back to talking about what I think you're doing. We need to sign a player over 30, but our stupid asses are not listening. This will cost us. Yes, we have more experience in the team. 130 years center back will help. Houston, we are. I think that you're making that mistake of using age and experience interchangeably. That person doesn't have to be 30. I think there are 22, 23-year olds that are very experienced and are very good at what they do. That person doesn't have to be 30. No. Even Mark Guehi, you could argue if we get him to re-sign for us, I think it'd make a lot of difference. You get the point now. So, but I don't think it's correct to just say, no, age, no. It's a huge mistake. People use that interchangeably, but I don't blame them because usually the older ones are usually the more experienced because the older you are, which means it simply means you've had, you can say, enough opportunities to gather more experience than a younger person. But sometimes there are younger players who are more experienced than older players. But I get your point. All right. What else do we have here? Enzo Maresca on live year injury. He's probably frustrated by himself. So what did he say? He says, "I think it's a quad injury. We feel very ashamed, especially for him, because he's not able to be fit for a long time. For him to say this, that latter part of that paragraph that I just read simply means, he's not able to stay fit for a long time. He's thinking what we're thinking. That's it. Play 10 minutes, get injured again." And he says that the second paragraph reads, "Well, we'll see now as it's too early to understand what kind of injury. Hopefully, it's not a big one." I'm not hopeful about him anymore because after being hopeful, hoping it's not, hoping it's the other one, he comes back, boom, gets injured again. This is not the first time. It's been like 10 million times. And I'm not into name calling, but dang it, Rodrigo was correct to say that, he's a part-time player. Yeah, it just seems as if he comes back and then plays one game against Liverpool, and that's it for him, unfortunately. But I'm still hopeful, even though I said I will not. He's still very young, and usually young players sometimes they do. I don't know whether it'd be correct to say outgrow the injuries that you can say that plague them. for lack of a more relatable language there. I hope that's the case because there's an excellent player in there. It was Southampton. Was it Southampton that ran him into the gutter? Yeah, isn't easy on Hato. Literally all our best players at the moment had a slow start. We didn't get knocked out of the competition. He will learn and come good. And I'm gonna say this again. Kudos to Maresca for not subbing him off. Had he done that, had Maresca done that, I'm gonna say it one more time. Chances are he'd we can say he'd be useless for the rest of the season. Kid is 19. And letting him finish the game, and I'd argue he had a better second half. Letting him finish that game was the best thing Maresca could have done. Had he done otherwise, his confidence would take a hit. And he might not be able. Some players actually don't recover from such, and chances are he might not be able to finish. You could say be able to come back from it. He's an excellent player. At 19, captained Ajax, played as a centre back 24-25 season, and then played the entirety of 23-24, then 25, 24-25, played the entirety of the season as left back. There's a good player in there, and unfortunately for him, but look, this kid, that wasn't the first game he played for us. He's played all the games and did well. All right, what else do we have here? Anything else important here? Starman. This kid was excellent. My team showed determination until the final minutes against the world champions. They were not afraid, demonstrated the Azerbaijani character, and earned their first point against an English team. Of course, this result boosts confidence. Yeah, it does. They did very well. So let's look at the numbers and see what we can learn. From it. Let's see. Where is it? Okay, stats. We'll look at the stats, and then we call it a day. All right. Let's see statistics. All right, they had, you can say it's not so slightly, but not that huge. They had finished the game with a better XG than us. Total shots, 16 shots from us, 9 of their shots on target, 4 3. Pretty much an even game. Big chances, they had 3 big chances, 0 none for us. Big chances means they missed 2. Accurate passes, I don't want that. I don't want anything from that. You can't argue we were lucky actually to have come out with a draw. Honestly. And I knew if we looked at the numbers would probably tell a different story. Yeah, we scored first, but yeah, didn't look like we wanted. Maybe we took our foot. I don't know whether to describe it that way. Just as the manager said, we didn't take them seriously. We felt like maybe we've won the game, and especially because we scored first. So look at it. They finished the game. I wouldn't say slightly better XG, still point 0.30 plus, not bad. It's still slightly better than us. So actually, a draw, given how well they played, you could argue we're lucky to have come out with a draw. Yeah. So anything else? For 59 minutes, I think we're going to call it a day. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the conversation. Not so many people because, yeah, a lot of big accounts have shows on right now, and we can't compete with them right now. We haven't streamed consistently in a while. But I want to say thank you to my bro, Rich Money Begos, for joining the conversation. And Vic, my bro, also for joining the conversation. Marvel Republic, thank you. Who else was here? Okay, just you guys there. Let me see. Anything else? Thank you so much. I appreciate you all finding time to join the conversation. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and Cheers.
Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Reetz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe.